Welcome to the fifth edition of the Global Festival of Oneness, celebrating the life and works of Adi Shankara. This is organized by the Indica Center for Moksha Studies. My name is Anuradha and I'm the host for this session. Let us start with a prayer. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. We're continuing with our weekend session on the heart of Vedanta and exposition on Laghu Vakya Vritti. For those of you who joined the first time, I'd like to introduce the speaker. Swami Brahmaprajnananda Saraswati has dedicated her life to sharing the timeless teachings of Advaita Vedanta and Dharma. She conducts Vedanta courses, podcasts, and retreats for groups of people in Mumbai and across the world. Her teachings seamlessly flow from areas of self growth to self discovery. A disciple of Pujya Swami Dayananda Saraswati, she has studied Vedanta and Sanskrit in a full-time residential 3-year course and was a part-time student of Swami Brahmavidananda. Swamini is a former psychologist and in her last leadership position as the country head of an international organization, impacted the lives of more than 15,000 street children annually. More details can be found on www.discoveratma.com. Welcome, Swaminiji.
Oh, thank you very much. So we are now in the fourth and the last session of Laghu Vakya Vritti. Over the last few weeks, we have looked at our life in the light of the Shastra. So this person who goes to meet God is asked a counter question. Who are you? And the person starts to describe. And the Acharya says, no, that's not you. What you are describing can be experienced. What you are describing changes all the time, which is your body mind. What you are describing has gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas. What you are describing is made of material, naturally, and therefore it keeps changing. So unless you introduce yourself properly, how can I take you to meet Bhagwan? Because through all the changes that this body mind is experiencing, the Atma, that is Brahman, is you, which cannot be experienced. Through all the experiences, what cannot be experienced but is the basis of all experience, Adrishyam, that is who you are. What is not made up of any material, abhautika. The body mind is made of material. Your cognitions are made of material, very, very subtle material. But you are not made of material. A lot of people then jump. Oh, I must be energy. No, energy is also subtle material only. You remember school science, what we have studied. Matter and energy keep converting all the time. So you just had a lot of mangoes, made the most of the mango season. Now there's a lot of matter that got accumulated in the body. Then how do you expend it? Not with more matter. You huff and puff, right, in the walking park, then that matter gets converted to energy. So Brahman is not even energy because energy is subtle matter. So Brahman, that is you, is a bhautika, is not made of any material. Then do you have gunas? Yes, of course, the body mind has gunas for sure. But that which is in and through the gunas, which is not a guna by itself, nirguna. Oh, that means it is nothing? No, I didn't say that. So you are very much there. So how we can say there is nothing? So what you are seems to be a mixture, but actually what is material, what is changing, what has gunas, has come from that which is nirvikara, that which is changeless. So that which is always present. Like as of now, you don't have to do anything to discover who you really are. Assuming that one has a certain maturity of life, adhikaritvam and so on. And everything else about the body, mind, one's experiences is coming and going. So a lot of events planned for the weekend, let's say, even the talks, they are subject to starting and ending. But what you are, that is Satyam, is not subject to coming and going. So last we were seeing that Acharya focuses on us understanding that with cognition, with this vritti, with different kinds of thoughts that you have, and even without it, which means the gap between two thoughts, or when you are in deep sleep, when there are no thoughts, what is your reality? That has been the inquiry in Laghu Vakya Vritti of 18 verses. We have completed about 13 verses, and in the last verse, what we saw is the Mahavakya Aham Brahmam. Aham Brahmasmi. So Aham Brahma Asmi. Asmi is not required. Aham Brahman or Brahma Asmi, that's fine. So I am Brahman. This Mahavakya occurs in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. And we were seeing the context, which is that there are people like rishis, seekers who gathered there. Of course, rishis are not seekers, they are already mantra drishtas. And they actually asked the question, who knows the meaning of Brahman? And there is a reply, Brahman alone knows. Then when? Oh, Atma was Brahman. Who else but Brahman only can know that it is Brahman? And so what about it? So knowing that, one becomes all. Sarva Atma Bhavaha, Sarvatma Bhavaha. So if you know a microbe, you don't become a microbe. If you know the galaxy, you don't become the galaxy. How by knowing Brahman you became everything, right? So we have already seen the nature of Brahman, that is you, that is changeless, that doesn't have gunas, that is not material, that is not subject to coming and going, that which cannot be experienced, but which is the basis of all experiences, that is you. So that Brahman, knowing, which means that in and through all the different forms that are there, whether you are aware of it or you are aware of it at a subtle level, Brahman is in and through all of it. And that is who you really are. Oh, but I don't feel like it. Please go back to Manomaya Kosha Viveka, that you are more than your feelings. Oh, I don't experience it. Please go back to Anandamaya Kosha Viveka, that what you are experiencing, you are present in and through. When I say you, I'm shifting the standpoint to what is unnegatable about you, that is the reality. So till there we have looked at it. Now we continue with the other verses. So 14th verse. Savikalpakachidyuham brahmaikam nirvikalpakam swata siddha vikalpaste nirodhavya prayatnataha. Aham, I. What about me? So aham savikalpakachidyaha means vikalpa is changes, alternatives. Savikalpaka, that I am the one who is consciousness, chit. along with cognitions, along with thoughts, right? So what's the big deal? All kinds of thoughts all the time. Mind is chattering away, giving commentary, right? So it's like not cricket commentary, okay? Because we are trying to make sense of the world, we somehow have gotten into the habit of constantly commenting on everything. You may be very quiet, like totally introverted, but in your head, there's lots of commentary going on. So, lot of cognitions, even without that, who are you? You are consciousness, you are awareness, because of which you are aware of all of this. Okay, what else? And really speaking, Brahma ekam nirvikalpakam. So even though there are all these forms, and remember that any thought is a very, very subtle form, you see it without the need for external pramana. But Sakshi Vityam, you are aware of it. And what is it that is the content of you, because of which you are aware of everything, because of which everything gets illumined? You are nirvikalpam. Did someone give you this gift? Did you get reward points? Did you gain some wealth and therefore you became Swata Siddha? No, you have not earned it. You don't have to qualify for it. What you are is self-evident. And there is no one else who is self-evident than you. So Swata Siddha, meaning I know I exist, even if I don't verbalize it. The bacteria also knows it exists, and I am different from other bacteria, therefore I can engulf it with that rudimentary awareness that the bacteria has. Aham swata siddhaha. About that self-evident being on which I have done adhyasa, made mistakes of who I am, what I am, etc. That swata siddhaha being is what? Is the one who then makes prayatna. For what? For nirodhaha. Because all these cognitions, different kinds of thoughts that are occurring in one's mind, there is an attempt to do nirodhaha, restrain it. Why should we restrain it? Because I am so caught up with the form. So what I am feeling, what I am thinking, what I have, what I don't have, what other people have, what other people should be doing, why I am not like this. So our mind is so caught up with all this. And therefore, some prayatna is very important. Okay, I will also do this one and then we can elaborate further. Shakya sarva nirodhena samadhir yoginam priyaha tat shaktau kshanam rudva shraddhalur brahmatatmanaha. So there is something that is dear, priyaha, to yoginaha. So people who have followed the Ashtanga Yoga have developed a great mastery of the mind, and they are able to use their mind as an instrument, because that's really what it is. It is antakarana. It cannot be used by itself. You have to use it. So these yogis who have followed Ashtanga Yoga, not just they have done some asana pranayama and then they are calling themselves yogi or yogini, then you're not doing justice to the word. There has to be a reverence to whatever system you are studying, so that you earn the right to call yourself yogi. Go through the entire system. What is the rush? What is the hurry? So for these yogis, it is possible for nirodhaha, for mastery of the different kinds of thoughts. Okay. Oh, then some people are thinking, Ayo, I have not done all this Ashtanga yoga. Yes, it's true, I have done some pranayama, asana, okay. But all this pratyahara, Dhyana, Samadhi, I don't know much. Okay, no worries. Okay, if that Ashaktao, it's not possible for you, then at least for a few moments, Shanam Rudva, you please try to restrain your thoughts, having the Shraddha that the Shastra has revealed that you are Brahman, that Atma is Brahman. May you see that again and again. Okay. So now, dwelling on this a little bit more, we believe that whatever the mind says is reality. And I will encourage you to question, because you will say, no, no, I'm scientific, I'm logical. Okay. Then on what basis you are saying that whatever your mind says is reality? Suppose you say, I'm a loser. Suppose you say, my family should change. If they change, I will be happy. Hello, what is the evidence for all this? Huh? You have made some ideas, you have made some connections, and then you are saying that your thoughts disturb you, because we all say we want to be free from our thoughts. But the only way to be comfortable, to be at peace with whatever thoughts that emerge, is living a life of dharma. You will see the last time you were upset is either because you did not uphold dharma. Maybe you were not as polite or respectful and you just lost your temper, and then you gave someone a piece of your mind. Then you are feeling bad, you're feeling upset. Maybe I should not have done it. And you're trying to manage it at the level of feelings. But actually, what is required is for you to align to dharma, perhaps apologize to that person, and to make a mental note that I have to manage my anger better. Maybe I express my anger, but I do not victimize the other person just because I'm angry. So, although we think we are trying to manage our thoughts and emotions, the more we align with dharma, the more we embody all the values of ahimsa, daya, um, asteya, and so on, least harming and compassion, justice, etc. Then we find that there are very few ragas and dveshas that one has to manage. There are no worries. But our main raga and dvesha is changing the world. So it is like you have to change. We don't even spare gurus. That this guru has to do like this guru should talk like this guru should not do like that, etc. So much filled with raga and dvesha, right? So more we align with dharma, we find that the cognitions or thoughts, they don't disturb us. Yeah. And by applying karma yoga buddhi, we are at peace. We recognize that all the thoughts that are there, they are all given to me. They are all pervaded by the psychological order that is Bhagavan, and that there is nothing that is away from Bhagavan. There is no thought that is away from Bhagavan. There is no time that is away from Bhagavan. In other words, there is nothing that is away from the Swarupa of Bhagavan. That is Brahman, that is you. So, the more and more you work with your mind, with Karma Yoga Buddhi, not once and twice a day, but 365 days, 24/7, again and again, you appreciate the presence of Bhagwan in your life in all ways, in all areas, including this body mind. Then I am able to see and appreciate absolute peace, absolute ananda, that is me. Only when I have the relative shanti, then only I can absolute atyantika shantihi, which is me. So let all the cognitions come. First, I have with my lifestyle, with my sadhana. Over years, I have learned to have mastery of my mind. So prayers, pujas, japa, tirtha yatra, all that is helpful for me to reduce all my raga dveshas to preferences. And then more and more, I am at peace with myself, I am at peace with the world. I do what I can with all the Shaktis that are given to me. I am able to see that I was always Brahman, Brahma Ekam Nirvikalpam. I am that consciousness, that Shuddha Chaitanyam that is present in the waking state, in the dream state, in the deep sleep state. In the deep sleep state, Sushupti, where there is no thought whatsoever, I am still very much there. So I, as Chaitanyam, Shuddha Chaitanyam, am not associated with the Vikalpas of these three states. So all that I am is Ekam, Nirvikalpam, no change whatsoever. I am that existence which cannot be experienced, which is not material, which is not made of gunas, which is not coming and going. I am always present. I am the Adhishtanam in and through all the forms. That is whatever vichara. So recognizing that I am that Svatasiddha Atma. It is about that Svatasiddha Atma. I am that so many errors were made. I am got associated. I am. So this is the Ahankara. Okay. Ahankara, if it is understood, then it is the Atma. So otherwise we load too much on this poor Ahankara. So Ahankara is I am what I have. I am what I experience. I am what people think of me. I am separate from God. I am separate from the world, etc., etc. Just knock off all that. I am. Aham. That aham is nirvikalpam. So everything occurs in me. The truth is you don't have a mind, and Atma is not inside you, but actually the mind and the body and all the forms that we seemingly experience through this medium, all of that is in me. The mind is in me. I am that Brahman that is limitless. So in the Dakshinamurti Stotram, Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam Nijantar Gatam Pashyannatmani Bhayaya Pahiribod Bhutai Yatha Nidraya. So what I see, this entire world, this entire Vishwam, in me, Darpana, in the mirror, everything is happening in me. Pashyan Atmani Maya. But all this world of names and forms and Indian elections and the big shock that we have all experienced, everything, we are all processing all that. What about it? It has its own place, and from a dharma standpoint, we do all that we can to uphold dharma. While we are doing all of this, what do we see? Yas sakshat kurute prabodha samaye. All this is occurring because of Maya Shakti, and it is occurring in me. So me as in Brahman, one experiences all this knowing that I am not an experience. Swatmanam eva advayam. So we appreciate this Paramarthika Satyam. The one who appreciates this Paramarthika Satyam is the absolute reality, which is not subject to changing. And we appreciate that dharma, all our interactions, us living our swadharma is a part of Vyavaharika Satyam. There is no escape from it, however wise or otherwise you are. So you cannot abandon your swadharma, and that is what Bhagavan Krishna also reminds Arjuna about it, isn't it? So while you are performing your dharma, naiva kinchit karomiti yukto manyeta tattvavid. So the one who is together, the one who knows the truth, Pashyan, Sprishan, Shrinvan, Jigran, whatever activities you are doing, you please continue to do it, knowing that you are untouched by any karma. So both of them are not opposed to the other. Generally what happens is we have categorical thinking. So we will say, oh, this is Satyam, this is Mithya, this is black, this is white. It's all okay for any other learning. But for Vedanta, you cannot have this categorical thinking whatsoever. That where there is Vyavaharika Satyam, where there is this functional reality of forms, there alone is Paramarthika Satyam. So, Paramarthika Satyam, as in the absolute reality that is in and through the Vyavaharika Satyam. Don't think there is, oh, I have to live my Vyavaharika Satyam, only then Paramarthika Satyam will dawn on me. No, right now you are already the absolute reality that you seek. But you are caught up with the forms and you have mistaken the waves to be water. So again and again, we come back to seeing that what you are indeed is Paramarthika Satyam, absolute reality, or in the case of the wave and water example, you are that which gives reality to the form, the waves. So because we might not have mastered our minds adequately, therefore, for yogis, okay, for people who have been through Ashtanga Yoga, it's slightly easier to appreciate the reality of who they are. Why? Because they have achieved mastery of the mind. Is it possible only through yoga? No. Any method that gives you mastery of the mind, which means that you can use the mind as an instrument. You are not a victim or under the spell of your raga dveshas. You very spontaneously abide by dharma and your mind is very steady. You, whatever is required to be focused on, you are fully present. Right now, you're not thinking, oh, what am I going to cook? Or you're not thinking, oh, last night's dinner was superb. I want to eat that again. Is there some left in the fridge? You are present, and all that you have is the present, which is now, and all that is in the now is you. Brahman, absolute Paramarthika Satya. So, as a part of our sadhana, we try to have this nirodha, mastery of the mind. In any case, Shraddha is non-negotiable. So, Guru Vedanta Vakyeshu Vishwasaha iti Shraddha. Faith is a very poor translation, so I won't use that. Shraddha, best translation is Shraddha only. But to explain it, we might say trust in the words of Vedanta or trust in the words of the Guru. Of course, Guru does not say anything other than the Shastra. Otherwise, that person is not a Guru. So, initially the trust is provisional. You're not quite sure. You have heard a lot, you've seen a lot, and you don't know if you can trust what the person is saying. But that's related to our trust in life. You know, if you are bitter and cynical and suddenly you plop into Vedanta and you think you're going to have Shraddha, it's not going to happen, right? So, uh, you trust yourself to do the right thing. You trust that this process of life has a meaning. You trust that life is a blessing. You trust that you have been given Shaktis to do your best. You trust what others say to you, not blindly. You do apply the lens of logic and reason, but it is that trust that what the Shastra says, if I don't understand it, it means that I have to work on my understanding. Because in time, we find that we cannot negate the Shastra. What the Shastra tells us in terms of karma, in terms of punya papa, or about swarga, or that you will do these mantras as a part of your mantra sadhana, you might get this siddhi, or you may do these kind of upasanas and you will get these results. There is no way that science will tell you all this. Only the Shastra tells us. So slowly, our Shraddha in Shastra increases. And so, what is to be done? Well, he says further that with the help of this Shastra, with the help of your Shraddha, what do? You Okay, I think we've done this one. Shraddha brahmatam swasya chintayet buddhi vrittibhihi Vakya Vritya Yatha Shakti Nyatvad Bhyas Nyatvad Nyatvad Abhyasyatam Sada. So the ones who have Shraddha, what should you do? Shraddhalu Brahmatam on Brahman, one's Swasya. Not Brahman is limitless. So what? You are. Okay. Do not talk in third person. So I, aham, already we have seen. So the one who has Shraddha, what might you do? Meditate on I, aham, Brahman, aham, Brahmasmi. How? May you bring to mind what you have seen and heard in the Shastra. Chintayet. So in Sanskrit, chinta is thinking about something. It could mean worry in certain contexts. But of course, in our regional languages, generally chinta means worry. Okay. You don't worry that you are Brahman or not Brahman. Think, bring to mind with the activities of your mind, buddhi vritti bhihi, this buddhi that one has been given, such a gift. So with this gift that you have, when you say, I am Brahman, aham brahmasmi, do I see the truth of that? Oh, but I have a lot of things to do in the office. That's a role. And in that role, there are certain responsibilities. I am still Brahman. I am that limitless. So look at all the buts that you add, B-U-T, after I am Brahman, and that will give you an indication of the things you need to work on. So I am Brahman, but my mother-in-law doesn't approve of me. So mother-in-law and me, son-in-law, daughter-in-law, is again a relationship, a role. And we have to see how best to align with dharma to manage it. Despite the tension in the role, I am still Brahman. So is that clear for you? How? Because we have seen it. Vakya Vritya. Whatever be the exposure to Vedanta, and of course in this particular text, Vakya Vritti, Aham Brahmasmi. In and through all the cognitions, in and through all the experiences, Aham Brahman. So having understood it, Yatha Shakti, whatever, according to your capacity, in line with the teachings of your guru, in line with discussions with others, what might you do by knowing it? Okay, now this is very interesting. I want to draw your attention to the word Nyatva. Nyatva, not Dhyatva. Nyatva means knowing. Knowing this or having understood this truth. Because a lot of people believe wrongly that, oh, I am Brahman, I understood in class, theory is over, now I will do practice. That means you are denying that Vedanta is a pramana. As a pramana, as a means of knowledge, it is direct, it is immediate, it is you. If you have to create a process out of it, only after I meditate, because we have all these romantic notions of sitting on the top of one peak and realization shall dawn on me. There's no realization. You will only recognize you have been such a fool all along. That is realization, okay? That you took everything to be so real. Anyway, so Nyatva, may you do abhyasa, Nyana Abhyasa. Okay, what else? How to do this Nyana Abhyasa? Tat chintanam tat kathanam anyonyam tat prabodhanam etadeka paratvancha Brahmabhyasam vidur buddhaha. How to do Nyana Abhyasa? I will listen to all the classes of a particular teacher. Then I will share it with everyone else. No, you are not qualified to be an Acharya. No, no, I am just discussing. Please, discussion, definitely, please do that. Otherwise, it will be like what Swami Chinmayananji would say. What you have heard through the years should sink into your heart. Otherwise, it will leak through the mouth. So, what you have heard through the years should sink into your heart. Otherwise, it will leak through the mouth. So, some of us may have a pressure to teach. You are qualified to teach only when your guru recognizes that you can teach, not without that. So now, how to do this Jnana Abhyasa? May you think about it. May you do adequate mananam. Mananam is to be able to hold the topic, okay, in your mind and look at it from different standpoints, raise different kinds of arguments against the truth, be able to answer all the arguments, all the kinds of objections, purva pakshas. Then, like this Dridha Khamba Nyaya, when this cricket pitch, when those stumps are being put in the pitch, so bang, 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 one stump is on the pitch, okay, on the ground. Then what do? They will shake the stump to see if it is firm enough. And so your mananam is all a part of shaking your understanding by throwing all kinds of objections to your understanding and therefore emerging with great clarity. Tat kathanam, talking about it, and also tat prabodhanam, sharing, discussing about it. So you are single-minded. It's a sacred pursuit for you, just like we give adequate time to dharma, artha, kama pursuits. Moksha is a distinct pursuit requiring time, effort, attention. So etad ekaparatvam cha brahma bhyasam vidur buddhaha. So all these buddhaha. So don't think there's only one Buddha, okay? So Buddha literally means the wise one, the enlightened one, and became a prefix for Sri Gautama, right? So therefore we refer to him as the Buddha. But any wise person can be called Buddha, not Buddha, okay? So Buddha. So Buddha is any wise person, and here plural Buddha. So all these wise people, what do they say? They say be focused. And we somehow have very weird thinking around our pursuit of Vedanta, which means we think that you spend 2 hours a week, maybe maximum 4 hours a week. And the lifetimes of conditioning, of thinking I am Ahankara only, that should go away like this. And look at the amount of time, attention, and energy we spend on our artha and kama pursuits. Like the whole week goes in that, right? So going to work or working from home, then your to-do list, then your meetings, your emails, interactions, project reports, etc., etc. So the orientation is of an artharthi or maybe a jignasu also. So one who's seeking security and pleasure. Very good, very valid pursuit, very important. And you recognize that it requires some time and attention. Even if you are a YouTuber or, some of the newer professions that are coming up in the context of digital media, you recognize that everything requires time and effort. Then how you believe that Vedanta pursuit, one time I will listen, I will know the truth. It's not logical at all, especially because the knowledge is very subtle. because it's not like any other knowledge that you have. So this Shraddha is the attitude that I am willing to do whatever it takes, because if the Shastra says I am Brahman, I recognize it to be true. And because that truth resonates with me, okay, therefore I am drawn to it again and again. It may also be possible, you say, no, you know what? All these rishis, they were just, they were on bhang, they had marijuana, and therefore they said something about you. Maybe it doesn't apply to me. No one says that. Everyone thinks that maybe what the rishi says might be true. Maybe I am not all that I have thought of myself as a limited being. So again and again, may you recognize that even between your thoughts, which are so rapid, which are so fast, and this mind which is pervaded by consciousness, and aham shuddha bodhaha, seeing this chidabhasa, recognizing all these fluctuations, modifications, I recognize the truth of aham brahmasmi. So yatha shakti, according to capacity, don't look down on yourself. Anyway, we suffer from a lot of self judgments. Anyway, we have too many judgments about others, because of which we feel very miserable. Then, on top of it, you come to Vedanta, and then you are, oh, I don't know, I don't understand, I don't have sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, etc., etc. Relax. You have the backing of the tradition. You have the blessings of the tradition, you have the blessings of the Guru, of the Acharyas. There is no way that you will not know the truth. You trust that. So does this mean aham brahmasmi? I heard this, ridiculous statement that aham brahmasmi is the best affirmation. So affirmations are helpful, to move, to continue with life. So I am getting healthier, stronger, I am happier. Nice. That you are bringing to mind something about you and your personality, because there is a tendency for you to slip into a state of dejection and hopelessness. Fair enough. But Aham Brahmasmi is not an affirmation. It is a reality of who you are. So may you reflect on this according to your capacity. Increase your capacity. May you be with an Acharya with whom you can discuss what you have understood and clarify your doubts. Right now, there is so much content available everywhere, and people tend to listen here and listen there like a buffet table, and then they are super confused. And then, after their valiant attempts to make sense of the Shastra, then they land up with more and more confusion with the traditional Acharya. So much unlearning is required. Okay. So recognize that all gurus had their gurus who, and it's going all the way back to Sadashiva. So, however brilliant and intelligent you are, however successful you are, you need an Acharya, because Mundaka Upanishad says, Pariksha Lokan, only after you have examined your life's experiences and you have Vairagya, that you've been there, done that, and you are willing to commit to a pursuit that reveals the truth of who you are, then please go to a guru. Didn't say please listen to a YouTube video only, okay? The YouTube video is very, very good for awareness building and fantastic. We have that blessing and that's wonderful. But go beyond that. So in each and every vritti, in all my interactions, in all my experiences, in all my pursuits, in all my moments during the day, what is shining, aham, 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 all the way, is always evident. Aham, that's Svata Siddhaha. So what do we do as a part of Nyana Abhyasa? We contemplate on it with the right guidance. we discuss it in our discussion groups, or you catch one or two victims and discuss, but don't do this with your family. If your family is not into Vedanta, they will think you are crazy. Okay, find like-minded people with whom you can discuss and clarify your understanding, and in and through all your daily activities, may you bring this truth to your mind again and again. So don't think only if you go on a Vedanta retreat that this truth will become clear to you. Of course, immersive learning is very, very helpful. In fact, it is non-negotiable at some point in time in your Vedanta sadhana of Shravanam. But still, according to where you are at, may you see again and again this truth. And finally, the last verse, Dehatmadhi vad brahmatma dhidardhye kritakrityata yada tadayam riyatam muktosau natra samshayaha. The idea that I am this Deha, Deha Atmadhihi, is very strong for us. We don't even think that it could be any other way. I am this body. Therefore, whatever happens to the body happens to me. And therefore, we have this fear of death. We don't want to face death because I don't want to die means I am equal to body. Body cannot die. It's not even I equal to body. I am the body. That's it. And so we have sorrow regarding any kind of loss. But so you'll say, no, I am not worried about my death, but I am worried about other people's death around me. Still, you believe that all that is here is form only. And this, this very dridha nishchaya you have that I am the body. Well, with all this jnana abhyasa, this constant repetition, understanding again and again, clearing all the doubts, may you have the understanding Brahma Atma Dhihi. May your mind, your Dhihi, be pervaded by the fact that you are that Brahmatma, Aham Brahmasmi. As strong as you earlier believed that you are the body. Only then, Krita Krityata, only then your knowledge is complete. Then, Yada, whenever that Ayam Riyatam, when that person for whom this knowledge is very clear dies, the person is muktaha, is free. So we have a word for this, videha mukti. While the person was living, the person might be referred to as jivanmuktihi. Okay, that he is living as a jivanmuktaha. Then at the death of the body, everything is one with Ishvara. So therefore, the person is videha mukti. That even this last seeming bandha that was there with the body, that's also gone. There is no na atra samshayaha. There is no doubt whatsoever about this truth of the wise person. So, iti Srimad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Acharyasya Shri Govinda Bhagavat Pujya Pada Shishyasya Srimad Shankara Bhagavata Kritaha Laghu Vakya Vrittihi Sampurnaha. So, with this, the text comes to a close. So just dwelling a little bit on it, we have a few minutes. That I remember one incident. There was someone who was calling out, idiot, idiot. And there were lots of people who were ahead. Everyone looked back. So somewhere we believe that maybe I am an idiot and they are calling out to me. But just look at it. To do our different activities during the day, we have to identify with this human form, with this medium. And therefore, the orientation is a very, very strong orientation that I am just this human being. So now, after knowing Aham Brahmasmi, will the human form disappear? No, not at all. I am free enough to have this human form. I will continue with this human body, but this human body is not in any kind of opposition to the reality of who I am. So, iti guhyatamam shastram idamuktam maya nagha etad buddhva buddhivan syat kritakrityascha bharata. Gita. So this most profound teaching, Guhyatamam Shastram, has been shared by me. Knowing this, the person does not remain buddhu, but becomes buddhiman, has used one's buddhi, is no more a kripanaha, no more a miser, holding on, no, I'm not going to use my intelligence to understand who I am. And the person is accomplished. Kritakritya, beautiful word. So Kritakrityaha is the one who has accomplished what is to be accomplished. There is nothing more to be done for the sake of fullness. So then some people mistake this to mean, oh, that means wise people don't need to do anything. No, I didn't say that. For the sake of fullness, the wise person need not do anything. Out of fullness that one is, the wise person can do a lot. And we see that. We see that in our Shankaracharyas. So non-stop, they are busy with all kinds of projects for Loka Sangraha. Does it take away from the reality that they are not at all? Are they doing it for the sake of Purnatvam? No. They are doing it because they are Purna. What else to do? Well, let's just help people. Let's do Loka Sangraha. Let people benefit just like I have been blessed. And so, all the way there is mukti for this person. While living, the person is free. And then, of course, when the body drops, a form has just dropped, the person was ever free, and there is Videha Mukti. So, this has been Laghu Vakya Vritti. I had suggested that you all do some mantra anushtanam so that you can pray for all the pratibandhas, all the obstacles in your path to be dissipated. So it has been a great joy for me to share this teaching and learning that one has got from one's gurus. And my prayers and blessings with all of you. Om Tat Sat. If there are any questions, then I will take them.
Thank you so much, Swamini ji, for guiding us through these simple but very effective methodology to understand oneself and to keep one's life oriented towards this particular goal. Of course, let me get back. There's some feedback. Anjan Nandini says that Swamini ji has provided us a practical assessment of Veda in life through this session. And then they're also, when you say mantra anushtana, is there any particular mantra that people can use, or is it they need to just ask their guru? How do people
It's
go
best
about?
best to be guided by the guru. Yeah.
That is true. And how do they, after this, what do people go do? Do they look out for a guru, or as you said, YouTube videos they're inspiring, but may not be fully effective,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I think the intention of Indica Moksha is that, the entire buffet is presented and you find someone with whom you can resonate, and please approach them directly. Please approach someone whom you can relate to, resonate with, and commit to a course of study. So that Acharya will guide you about what is to be done, when and how, and so on. And so, alongside your Shravanam, depending on age and stage of life that you are in, the Acharya will suggest additional sadhanas, or what we might refer to as secondary sadhanas, that are to be done, so that this tradition, this sampradaya, can truly bless you. Don't try to do it yourself. Vedanta is not DIY. So we have to that it requires some buddhi to understand this is not DIY. And whatever are your doubts, please clarify with the Acharya. So don't hesitate in that.
Bhargavi ji has a question. She says, how to remove pratibandhakas on our way of practice?
Yeah. So Bhargavi, I will ask you uh, to complete the sentence, right? So aham brahmasmi, but, and what do you fill up that sentence with? Yeah. So give me some examples, then I will indicate what the pratibandhas are.
Yes, Bhargavi ji, in case you want to add, you can add there. Like maybe in case she's not, like for example, where like when one starts this practice, suddenly we have problems in our family throws up resistance, or I suddenly become very busy at work. These are some kind of obstacles that come. So how do I manage it? Do I just go and do what is priority for me, or do I do more prayer so that these pratibandhikas are removed? What is it?
Okay, excellent question. So aham brahmasmi, but I got busy in this phase of life. So two things are to be done. One is that in every pursuit, even at work, okay, or at family, there will be phases that you're super busy. You cannot focus on anything else. And at that time, it is the right thing to focus on those priorities. Maybe somebody is ill. It needs you to do that. So focus on your role, knowing that the Brahman that you are is not going anywhere. Okay. So in addition, also pray that may you have sustained and consistent learning. So you have a twofold approach. You are performing your swadharma in the context of a busy, hectic phase in any of your pursuits. You are praying for the knowledge. You are working on bringing in karma yoga buddhi. And when things settle down, then get back to your sadhana, get back to attending the classes regularly. So these obstacles are there for every sadhaka's life. We never give up. Okay, the issue is not what pratibandhas are there. The issue is that I am committed to this no matter what, and I am willing to do whatever it takes. So we will deal with all the pratibandhas, not a problem.
Thank you so much, Swamini ji. We have many more of such wonderful sessions. Today evening at 7 p.m. India time, we have Vidwan K. Giridhara Sharma talking to us about place of Acharya in Advaita Sadhana. So please do sign in and listen to it. Before I leave, I'd like to say the closing prayers. सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Thank you very much and see you in the evening. Thank you, Swamiji.